Waziri, you've talked about the achievement za jukwaa la usalama, but you have an issue in Mandera, the ongoing conflict between the Somali federal government and the Jubiland forces. They're affecting residents there. And last week we saw there's a woman who died after stepping on IED. And we saw Adan Khalif, governor for Mandera, calling on the government to to transfer the Jubilant forces from the BP1 back to Somalia. So what is the Ministry of Interior doing maybe to solve the issue?
That's what I told you earlier. The issue of Al-shabab is a daily issue. It's not something that we have been like this for nearly now more than 15 years. We are almost approaching 20 years. We have been in consistent fight since we were even forced to invade Somalia at that point in time by President Kibaki because of the challenges we were facing as a country. So it's a daily problem. You know, we have so many forces, multi-agency teams across our border, from Kiunga, from Boni, all the way to Mandera and beyond. Just to take care of our border. We also need to appreciate that our citizens in Mandera, Wajir, Garissa, and Lamu are bearing the greatest burden as a result of banditry. They are, the biggest problem as a result of banditry. And so it is painful sometimes to see people playing around with conversation about Al-shabab. The complexities of governance in Somalia is also spilling over to our country. And the global complex relationship between Houthis, Al-shabab, all these characters that facilitate movement of arms and so forth. And then the complex geopolitics of who has what interest in Somalia, globally, also makes it complicated for us to secure our border. So this is a more complex issue. When you talk about forces from Jubaland hiding in Kenya and forces from the Somali government sometimes coming to Kenya, it is the accusations and counter-accusations are always there. Remember that this is one community, okay? Remember that at the border, across the border, the clans are the same. The clans that are in Kenya, clans that are in Somalia. These are just colonial boundaries. But so there is also complexity in terms of knowing this is that. Now, that is not even enough. I mean, so you continue having these challenges in an area that is very vast, extremely vast. But I'm happy that the investment we have put in the country, the technology, the know-how, has helped us secure our nation. And I really want everybody interland who may not be having daily interaction with the challenges of Al-shabab to keep praying for our forces and to pray for our citizens at the border level who sometimes bear greatest responsibility to just protect the rest of us who are going about our business every day without fearing about IED or anything else. Thank you.
Okay. And also, will the Jubaland forces be transferred back to their country?
Every person who is illegal in Kenya must leave Kenya. Every person, not just, if we find those Jubaland forces in part of Kenya, they must leave, The same way we find Al-shabab characters in our country and they have to leave. But sometimes they don't just leave by going. You have to fight, you have to do a lot of work to ensure that they leave. So no foreigner will be allowed to operate in Kenya, particularly to carry out military activities in our country. Our country is non-aligned on whatever conflict that may be having in Somalia. Our basic interest is to get rid of Al-shabab. That's all.
Thank you so much. Maybe you can have one question as we wind up.
Yes, regarding the Al-shabab, some like 4 months ago, 5 ships from Mandera were abducted, and you said that you will negotiate with those people who have abducted the chiefs. whom did you negotiate with? And
you speak like another person who was in another. I did not say I negotiate. We say I told the country negotiations are ongoing. And maybe now I can reveal because our chiefs are safe. Remember that the communities in Kenya are the same communities in Somalia. Maybe that may be of great help. The elders in Kenya took the initiative, you know, and spoke to their elders in the other in Somalia, and tried to tell them that to help them pursue the criminals who went with the chiefs. And I'm glad that the elders, because it's one clan. The clan in Kenya is the same clan in Somalia. I'm glad that the elders in Somalia were able to intervene and make sure that using their local mechanisms in their own country helped their colleagues from the part of Kenya without the interference of the government of Kenya. And so ours was just to speak to the government of Somalia to see how best they can be able to help us. And all these other conversations between us and the government of Somalia thankfully led to, and I don't think there's no point for us to try to get the greatest credit. I think, if you ask me, without going into so much detail, that what played a greater role is the family relations on both sides of the border that managed to secure their relatives on the other side from danger, which of course some propagandists have turned it to mean that we have good relationship with the criminals. And I don't know, we did have, the way some of these people are talking is like they wished that the chiefs died. So that, honestly, you know, because if you say that, how else did you manage to bring the chiefs? Why don't you say, hallelujah, the chiefs came? We don't, whether they came like the man who was, you know, this is exactly, let me conclude now that like a pastor that I am. You see the Pharisees in the Bible, when Jesus healed the blind man, the Pharisees were more concerned on how did he heal you? How did he heal you? Are you sure he healed you? And the guy said, my friends, I don't know if he's, no, then they were even cornering him. Do you think he's a good man? He's a son of God? The guy said, I don't know. Whatever he is. I was blind, now I can see. So I think the point anyone should be seeing is that whatever it happened, the chiefs were going to die. They are alive and they are back. And I think that's really, but for someone to want to go all the way to another country and go and say, because the chiefs were returned, it's because they have the president of Kenya has a relationship with Al-shabab, or the minister has a relationship with Al-shabab. I would rather, if I was a citizen, say, whatever happened, our chiefs had been abducted and they have been returned. And so I have told you today, the real game changer was the family relations on both sides of the border that managed to convince elders on the other side to find all necessary means. Unja, I don't know even what means they did to return our chiefs.
Waziri, I've gone through the comments on your Facebook page, and a viewer is asking, was it a coincidence that you toured Nyeri the day when Rigathigachagua was coming back to Kenya from the US?
As a matter of fact, it's not just Rigathigachagua who has come back from US. There are so many Kikuyus from Nyeri who landed today at the airport from different parts of the world. So, and I'm sure there is no reason to single out one of them when there are hundreds of people who travel today to come to the country. Yeah. So I'm in my daily business, and also maybe for his benefit, I'm also home. I come here more often. I have family ties here. So when I'm here, I'm at home, and so I'm okay.
Sorry, let me take you back just a moment, because I think this is a burning question.
Yes.
On the matter of bribery in the parliament. You know, the president made very heavy allegations.
Yes.
You know, on the parliamentary leadership, chairmen and members of various